Today in news, Joe Biden's administration has once again made it illegal for Washington, D.C. to sell cannabis, although they have a thriving gray market. Honestly, it's probably better the way it's going than what they would try to do with it. But they're not going to have legal cannabis in Washington, D.C. Anyway, not anytime soon. They're still going to maintain the medical cannabis program. So if you're using medical cannabis in Washington, D.C., that's okay. Otherwise, nope, not for you. You have to go to the gray market and buy cannabis from people who are doing it in a way that doesn't support taxation, which is theft. So that's probably good. Good job, DC. Way to keep it gray market. Also in news, some legislation is going to go soon towards the Senate for legal cannabis. And so some folks have put together some information on the MORE Act and why they should legalize it, what that would look like, and basically what the legal cannabis would look like if the United States government went on to make legal cannabis a thing here in the country, not state to state. Anyway, it's like a 500-page document, and it goes through pros and cons and the reason why it should be illegal. I don't even understand what's going on with it, but maybe the MORE Act will pass. Now, the MORE Act, a lot of money goes towards helping undo the wrongs done by the war on drugs. It puts money into folks whose communities have been disproportionately affected by the war on drugs. Well, maybe that'll go this year. It probably won't. The SAFE Act is another bill that's being put up, and that's going to protect banks if they work with cannabis companies from being put in federal prisons, I guess. Anyway, also in news today, I found a third news story. There's like 3 news stories I was going to talk about. I talked about 2 of them so far. What's the third story? Joe Biden going to keep cannabis illegal in D.C., or at least not have cannabis stores in Washington, D.C. And then we have, I forgot even what the other story was. I just talked about it. But there's more stories of cannabis today in the news, of course. What was the other one? Anyway, I'm here in the car wash. So the car's looking much better now. Shiny. I don't know if that's news. I guess so. We were talking about recently about news. The letters at the top of a weather vane. The letters are N-E-W-S. I think that's where the word news comes from. But, who knows? Anyways, thanks for watching The Wash. Wait, I think I'll think of this third story before the thing's over. All right, so what was the third stupid story? I forget. Oh, I don't know this. No, I don't. I don't even know. I'm gonna look. We're gonna look real quick. Well, I guess if I look, I stop streaming. So I have to just remember. I'll use this time as my car goes to the dryer. I'll think about what the story could potentially be. Let's see. I went to Marijuana Moment, and I chose some stories that I put them on the Facebook page at the wash ..daily. So maybe you have to go there and see it today. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. It's Michigan. They brought in like almost $2 million to their schools from cannabis money. Now Michigan is gonna pretty soon have a social consumption marijuana facility, I guess. And so you're able to go smoke some weed if you go to Detroit or Grand Rapids or something. That's pretty fun. That's gonna happen soon. They're gonna call it the Hot Box, and it's gonna probably be it's probably gonna be the way entertainment happens in the future, because cannabis and music go really well together. And Michigan raised almost they had about $2 billion, $2 billion in cannabis sales in 2021, and that's including the medical. It was like 1.6 billion for recreational, and like another 5 million for medical. So they're bringing a lot of money. Unfortunately, they still have people in prison in Michigan for cannabis, so it's definitely hypocritical. But anyway, thanks for watching The Wash Daily.